Hello and welcome to this training video for the OSPREY GPS simulator. In this video, we will be discussing the deliverable configurations for the OSPREY. We will review the mobile application and look at front panel operation. And finally, we will go over some troubleshooting tips on how best to ensure 3D lock for your GPS receiver. The OSPREY can be purchased in one of three configurations: single, dual, and direct. The single coupler option will come with one GPS coupler, the GPS controller, connected to the coupler via RF cable, the charging adapter, and the single kit soft side case. The dual coupler option will come with two GPS couplers, the GPS controller, a 6-foot coax cable to connect the controller to the second coupler, a shot bag for the second coupler, the charging adapter, and the dual kit soft side case. The direct connect, or controller-only option, is meant for users that already have GPS couplers or would just like to use the OSPREY on a bench or directly connected to an LRU. This option will come with just the controller and charging adapter. Other accessories can be added as needed. The OSPREY mobile application allows the user to easily download Almanac data, which is required for added precision when simulating. A user can also create static waypoints that can be used for replicating position within a hangar. Dynamic routes are created with the mobile application as well. All waypoint and route information is stored on the OSPREY controller so that any mobile device can connect and manage the information. Remote control of the OSPREY controller can also be performed within the mobile application. We will go over each of these steps. The application can be downloaded from either the App Store to support iPhones and iPads as well as from the Google Play Store to support Android devices. Just search for Viavi OSPREY and look for the appropriate application. To connect a mobile device to an OSPREY controller, launch the application. It will display the device ID of all OSPREY controllers that are within a 50-foot range. Select the device that you want to connect to and wait for the information to be uploaded from the OSPREY controller to the mobile device. The device ID on the OSPREY controller can be found on the setup page shown here. We will show how to access this page later in the training video. If you want to disconnect, you can simply close the application or click the connection symbol in the upper right corner of the main screen and then click Disconnect button. Clicking the gear icon in the upper right corner of the main screen will bring you to the setup page. Please note that all the setup parameters are not stored on the OSPREY controller, so each mobile device can have different settings. These settings include control of the output power of the RF signal being generated by the OSPREY. Power range settings are from -90 dBm to -145 dBm with 1 dB steps. The RF signal will be attenuated by the loss of the coupler, and for the second coupler, the loss of the attached cable will also affect the signal received by the aircraft's GPS antenna. Speed units can be selected to be in either knots, kilometers per hour, or miles per hour. Altitude units can be either feet or meters. Dual mode will enable or disable the second RF output of the OSPREY controller. This is the RF signal coming out of the TNC connector. Anytime a GPS simulator is required, the date of the Almanac file in use is a crucial aspect for aiding in aircraft's GPS receivers to obtain lock. The OSPREY provides a quick and easy method to update the OSPREY's controller's Almanac file. The date of the Almanac file stored on the OSPREY is shown on the Almanac setup page, and pressing the Convert Rhinex and Upload button would start the process. Data for all 32 space vehicles will be updated with the latest daily information available from NASA. The entire process takes under 2 minutes to complete. Please remain on the loading screen until the process has successfully completed. To create static waypoints, click Static Locations from the main page. Use the mapping functions to locate where you would like to simulate. The local position icon in the upper right corner will take you to your mobile device's location, provided you have location services enabled. Optionally, the search icon will allow a user to enter sites or addresses to locate. Once you have your location determined, simply press and hold on the map to generate a pin location. You can name your location and enter an altitude to simulate as well. Click Save to store this information on the OSPREY controller. Up to 15 waypoints can be stored. To edit an existing waypoint's information, use the menu icon in the lower left of the screen and click Edit Pin List. Click the pencil icon to edit the name, latitude, longitude, and altitude. To simply view particular waypoints, use the menu icon in the lower left of the screen and click Edit Pin List. Click the locator icon to jump the map location to the selected waypoint. The garbage bin icon will remove the waypoint from the list and will delete it from the OSPREY controller. Dynamic routes can be a useful tool for avionics troubleshooting. Although the OSPREY does not currently include WAS, there are many use cases that can be supported. To create a dynamic route, click on Dynamic Routes from the main page and then click the Create button. Use the mapping functions to locate the route that you would like to create. Click Locations on the map to create the route with a maximum of 10 waypoints. Each route will be a connected circle of waypoints that you will be able to loop continuously on or loop just once. The reason for this is that where a simulation is stopped can impact the aircraft's GPS receiver when a new simulation is started. When the locations are close in proximity, the more rapidly the GPS receiver will be able to obtain 3D lock. Up to 10 dynamic routes of up to 10 waypoints each can be stored on the OSPREY controller. Note, if a leg of the route is colored blue, then the route is not valid for the speed and proximity of the waypoints. To view a route, click the Routes button and then click on the route name. This will relocate the map to that route location. To rename the route, click the pencil icon. Rename and click Save. To edit a route, first select the route that you would like to edit by clicking the Routes button. Then click the Edit button from the Dynamic Route page. You can tap and drag existing waypoints to move them. Click Done Editing when ready to save. To manage routes, click the Routes button and delete a route from the list by pressing the garbage bin icon. This will remove the route from the connected OSPREY controller. Direct control of the OSPREY controller is straightforward. The buttons include a power button, up and down control arrows and a selection button. Up and down arrows will move the selected item from the display and the select button will trigger that selection. Now that the controller is set up with waypoints and routes, we can start a simulation. Running the simulation can be done with the controller buttons or from your mobile device. The main page selections include Static Menu, Dynamic Menu, and System Info. The System Info page is where you will find the device ID, which is used to connect the mobile device through the mobile application. This page shows the OSPREY controller firmware version and the battery charge indicator. When the static menu is selected, you can cycle through the list of waypoints using the Next option, and then simulate the selected waypoint by moving the arrow to simulate and pressing the Select button. When the dynamic menu is selected, you can cycle through the route list using the Next option and then simulate the selected route by moving the arrow to simulate and pressing the Select button. Once a simulation has started, you can stop the simulation by selecting the Stop Sim option. Remote control of the OSPREY controller is provided in the case where the couplers have already been placed on the top of the aircraft, and the user now wants to make some changes. Rather than climbing up to the OSPREY to push some buttons, the changes can be accomplished from the mobile device. Select the Remote Control button from the main screen. Then select either static or dynamic and then choose the waypoint or route to simulate from the provided list. For static waypoints, just click the Start button and that location will now be the one being simulated to the aircraft. For dynamic routes, you can choose between Loop Once or Loop Always. Please note that the Loop Once option is only available from the mobile device. If dynamic simulation is started directly from the OSPREY controller, the simulation will be set to Loop Always. Additionally, when a dynamic simulation is started, the command set for the route is written to the OSPREY controller. This will take a few seconds and then the simulation will start. However, the simulation will not be in motion. Instead, the OSPREY will simulate the first static waypoint until the user has selected the Resume button. This gives the GPS receiver in the aircraft under test time to lock onto the signal before any dynamic motion has begun. This provides for a faster GPS lock. And finally, we will cover some of the key steps that can help in reducing the frustration over not achieving a 3D lock on the aircraft's GPS receiver. One of the main things is to isolate the aircraft's GPS receiver from any real-world signals from an open hangar door or from GPS repeaters. On the simulator, ensure that the Almanac data is up to date, the location and time being simulated is close to the last thing that the aircraft saw when powered on, and make sure that your power output levels of the signal being simulated are not too low. An aircraft's GPS receiver sensitivity level is around -140 to -150 dB for the acquisition phase. Applying power to the aircraft after the simulation signal is being sent can be helpful as well. This way, the simulated signal is the first and only signal the aircraft's GPS receiver is seeing on power up. Lastly, when everything that you have tried is not working, sometimes a simple warm start or reboot of the avionics equipment can help. If not, some GPS receivers can be reset so that they start from a cold start and do not have any previously location information stored internally. This wraps up our training session, and we want to thank you for your attention throughout this entire session. The experts at Viavi Solutions are ready to answer your questions about using the OSPREY GPS simulator. Send your questions or comments to americas.service@viavisolutions.com or call 1-800-835-2350.